Hello, beautiful entrepreneur, and welcome to the 30K month challenge. Now, in this challenge, I'm going to share with you how I went from working my little heart out for a 3K months in revenue in my business to completely shifting out of that paradigm and commanding 30K in revenue for my company in September this year. Now, this challenge has 5 days to it, and each day I'm going to be sharing a different aspect with you around what it actually takes to command that kind of revenue in your business in a month without having to spend a whole year servicing those clients to make that money, and therefore not actually being able to scale your business or replicate that kind of income moving forward. So I'm so excited for you because your life and business is about to rapidly shift into a heckload more contribution and abundance, where you can scale your empire in a supported and strategic fashion without becoming a used car salesman or a money hungry scumbag or doing anything dodgy other than your highest potential service this life. And there's no greater feeling than stepping into your highest potential service and having that command the highest potential price point that you can hold and commanding the best results possible for your clients at the same time. So the truth is that hard work alone is not enough to build a scalable empire. I worked so hard for the first 2 years in my business. I had a toddler at the time too, and I was chronically sleep deprived. I had trauma in my system from when he nearly died at 7 days old. It was actually a really tough time for me, and I saw very little financial return for all my energy and effort to get my business off the ground. I was hustling to sell $150 single sessions online, and I was doing quite well. You know, by many people's standards, I was successful. However, I was only making about 40K in my business per year, which meant I was only taking home about 20K. In a whole year. Yes, I was working part-time around my toddler son, but I was also doing that in my soul-sucking day job, and I was making a lot more money, taking home a lot more than 20K. So I was in this constant cycle of push and burnout. I would always over deliver. And meanwhile, my clients started enjoying 5-figure launches by revolutionizing their offers, commanding greater engagement and presence using the medium of video. I had niched down and was focusing on video at that time. Meanwhile, I was scraping money together each month for bills, stressing about, can we buy a coffee today or not? Or, getting really worried or stressed if my son needed new shoes or if I had a car issue. And nothing actually changed until I stepped into this first step that I'm going to share with you today. I drew a line in the sand and I made a sacred commitment to myself that I would shift my paradigm. I vowed to stop pitching for peanuts and to restructure my whole business so that I could escape the trap of selling my time and instead sell the power of my work and sell my expertise. Now, this courage came from deep within me. It went against the norm of the Facebook groups I was hanging out in. Everyone was shouting the loudest about their bargain basement prices. There was a real kind of high school mentality in a lot of those Facebook groups. And moving outside of the norm of that space and into the realm of actual business and building a scalable company felt really, really daunting because I was terrified that I would be booted out of that community, which happened, that I would no longer belong. And it did have to happen, to be honest. You can't continue to defend a mediocre status quo and rise to excellence at the same time. So this is why this first step is actually the most important step that you can make. And that is to take radical personal responsibility for your vibrational velocity. Now, what do I mean by vibrational velocity? This is a term that I use to describe the law of attraction and manifesting, where you become a vibrational match to that which you wish to attract into your life. But it goes much deeper than that. It's actually about shape-shifting into the woman who commands 30K months. Shapeshifting into the woman whose work is so powerful that she can command the big bucks for it, charge for her work and not her time, and have people messaging her every day asking how they can work with her, and happily and joyfully and gratefully paying your premium prices. And so we all know that if we're going to manifest what we want to, what we desire, we need to be a vibrational match to it. And so it's really time to step up into that role now, to embody in every level, the cellular level, level of mind, level of energy, level of belief, level of action, the woman who is a goddess CEO who commands 30K a month. Now, 30K may feel like a complete vibrational dissonance to you. It may be way too much. And we will look at that tomorrow. Don't worry right now about the number. Focus on the feeling and claim it now as you decide to align with your abundance and draw it into your 3D experience through alignment, through intention, and through action, through vibrational velocity. Because what happens as you step into this place is that it does take on a velocity of its own, and it starts to carry you rather than you lifting it. But the fact of the matter is, you cannot stay in a cycle of panic and fear and expect to climb to riches. It's just not going to happen. You cannot create your offers from a space of scarcity and expect them to sell. So you need to slip into a juicy state of relaxation, deep trust, and that creative flow state where you can bring your highest potential offerings into the world. And this is the case, especially if your bank account is saying what you don't want it to say, especially if the type of clients you're attracting are actually not your highest potential soul clients. They're not people who will be willing to actually invest in themselves and do the real work and create transformation. Whatever you're looking at out there in your 3D reality experience that is not a match for what you desire, that is not what you want it to be, you actually need to separate your emotional inner world from that external stimuli. And rather than let it drag you down, you need to separate your vibrational state from the feedback of your current environment and take responsibility for rewiring yourself on every level and engage your senses in a new and different way so that you can do that. So once you've become the woman who has the income you desire, what will you be seeing? What will you be hearing? What are the things that you will taste frequently? What will you touch? What will you be saying and doing? What will you be selling? Who will you be speaking to? How will you be showing up out there in the world? And actually start to take those steps in action now as you shift your vibration in alignment with that and shift your action in alignment with your vibration. It's those two things through engaging the senses that create a synergy and a velocity that I call vibrational velocity. So feeling into all of those things now at the level of feeling, not thinking, is the first step. It doesn't need to make sense to anyone else. For me, it's about wearing beautiful bright colors and gorgeous earrings, enjoying my morning coffee, and arranging flowers that I love in my home. Even though I hope to purchase a much bigger home for myself and my family in, immediate years, I am not there going, oh, this is not the home that's for us forever. Instead, I love and adore the home we have. I appreciate it for everything it is. And I really enjoy through the senses the luxury of having my own space. And I love arranging flowers in that space. And I will sometimes sensorially feel myself in a much bigger living and dining area that has more open light areas and more white around me and different furniture. And I start feeling into that through my skin as I'm arranging my flowers. And so this is what it's about for me. You might hate arranging flowers. It's different for everyone. But, the sound of my son's laughter or the look that my husband makes when he's laughing so hard that he's just shaking and his nose is scrunched, those moments for me encapsulate from the senses the feeling that I want more of in my life, that connection, that joy, that flow state, the abundance that comes from having freedom of choice to spend your time how you choose, to be on purpose, to not have to work hard and hustle. And the fact is, most of these experiences that you seek when you have the money are actually feelings, and you can feel those feelings now. And this is what it's about. You have to gift yourself those feeling states now. You have to claim them for yourself through your senses, through your action, and through shifting your vibration. Now, there are lots of different ways you can do that, whether it's through movement, dance, music, singing, chanting, beautiful essences and sprays, oils, touch, massage, dance, wearing different colors, particular colors, enjoying beauty in the world, spending time in nature, getting in the ocean. What is it for you? What will you be doing when you're in your highest potential CEO state? How will you be spending your time? What will a typical day look like? And how can you bring that more into your typical days right now? For me, it's about getting to the beach regularly. So imagine you are her now. How does she behave differently? What's she wearing? How does she start her morning? What support does she have around her? What sales does she expect to make? And this is the key that most manifestors miss, and that is engaging the senses and taking the actions and letting that in. Start to practice receiving pleasure and receiving through your physical form right now, which allows that spiral upward into those higher vibrational states where you are open and receptive to receiving the higher vibrations, the pleasure, the ease, etc. Because we're actually hardwired to effort, to strain, to struggle, to make it hard. And so you need to train yourself out of that. And vibrational velocity allows you to stay aligned, peaceful, joyful flow, even when things in 3D reality are not going exactly how you would like. So when you combine that with your powerful intention for where you're going, you will start to receive nuggets or little quiet whispers into your intuition or your inner voice or your inner self, or just feel a gentle pull in a certain direction. And it may not make any sense to you or anyone else, but that is what you're being invited to expand into. And so whenever you notice any contraction, fear, tension, mistrust, old stories playing out, old trauma playing out, etc., you need to get support for your nervous system, for your energy. I have an amazing team of people around me. I have nervous system work done. I see a kinesiologist regularly who is phenomenal. I take essences and use amazing vibrational sprays. I play music. I am always in that state of conjuring, of allowing in and of opening my heart and making it safe for me to expand into my next level. So you need to put yourself first. If you want people to highly value your time as your most valuable commodity, which it is, you actually need to value it the highest and first. And this is an essential prerequisite for anyone to pay you a premium price for your valuable work, which I believe is an essential component of shifting out of, pitching for peanuts and hustling, trying to pump the volume of numbers, and instead focusing on quality and alignment rather than quantity, and actually have people pay appropriately. So nourish yourself, prioritize your own happiness over everything else, and don't skip this vibrational velocity step and think, yeah, let me just skip today and I'll wait till tomorrow till she starts getting to the real stuff, because this is actually the foundation for everything else. To the point that in my high-end sales mastery training, where I teach people how to shift out of one paradigm into a high-end sales paradigm, vibrational velocity is actually the first step, and it is something we practice and keep each other accountable for and hold that energetic space for as we up level as a collective throughout the whole process. Without vibrational velocity, no strategy can work. You could be doing all the right actions, to generate higher income in your business, and you're not going to create that vibrational resonance or activation in your client that they are actually seeking and that they need in order to have that soul recognition that you are the one for them. So your invitation is to release the old, don't engage in self-blame, just radical self-responsibility, and actually focus on, okay, if I'm looking around me and there's something I don't like in my 3D reality, what must I believe in order to have co-created that? Uncover that belief, be with it without judgment, let it move through you, release it, and then say, okay, well, what belief do I choose to create instead? And how can I engage with my senses and my vibration and co-creation with the divine to create that instead? So, now that, imagine you are her, you are now the woman who can achieve that outcome. What are you doing? What are you saying? Like, really feel into the vision. Focus on the feelings and the images and the sounds and the things that just drop into you quite gently, not the loud, noisy monkey mind chatter that might also be going on concurrently. So this is where I really ask you to go within yourself and to stake a claim that you are going to co-create your reality with the divine, not only through manifesting and vibrational practices, but through a beautiful fusion and combination of knowing that who you are being is more important than what you are doing in most instances, but you do also have to take the aligned actions. And that's what I'm going to be talking about in the remaining 4 days, the aligned strategy and actions that you need to implement in order to be able to skyrocket to those 30K months in revenue. Okay, so this was a bit of a longer video because I did want to say welcome and actually give you a sense of the energetic container that is required for you to hold for yourself if you're going to shift into this new paradigm. It is absolutely available for you at any time that you choose it. It does require awareness, and it does require you deeply knowing and honoring yourself and honoring what catapults your vibration into the next stratosphere. What is it that helps your vibrational velocity? What is it that makes you feel rich today? And how can you become the woman who is the CEO of a company that commands 30K revenue a month? That is the foundational piece for everything else. So what I want you to do is to go into the free Facebook group and use the hashtag vibrational velocity and share with us something that you have been invited to do, engaging with your senses in order to shift your vibration and allow that higher vibrational velocity to start spiraling upwards so that you can become a vibrational match to the income that you desire, your highest potential service with your highest potential soul client in a way that nourishes you, fuels you, lights you up, turns you on, has you feeling like, oh my God, this is life. This is the best thing ever. So hashtag vibrational velocity. What are you doing? How are you engaging your senses to raise your vibration, to become a vibrational match, to become the woman who? Share that with us in the Facebook group, whichever way you see fit. Now, I'm actually encouraging my high-end sales mastery girls to go live in the group as part of a Live for 5 challenge that they are doing right now. So if you would like to increase your camera experience and exposure, by all means, jump on live and just share with us what you're doing. You might want to include us in the experience a little bit. That would be amazing. Hashtag vibrational velocity. This is the foundation for everything else. Now, I'll be back in your inbox tomorrow with a much more concise training on step 2. All right, lots of love. Bye for now.